Breaking news, a senior Iranian source telling CNN there's been outreach between the U.S. and Iran in recent days, initiated by Washington. The source says nothing has reached the level of full-on negotiations and refused to comment on public statements from President Trump, like this one. Listen.
But to determine whether a broader agreement can be reached, we've had very good discussions, very, very good discussions. And you have to understand, I know my whole life has been a negotiation, but with Iran, we've been negotiating for a long time. And this time, they mean business.
All right, let's discuss. Democratic Senator Chris Coons of Delaware is joining us. He's a key member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Senator, thanks so much for joining us. Do you have any indications at this point, based on everything you've heard and learned, that the U.S. and Iran are, in fact, serious talks to end the war?
Serious talks to end the war, no, but the beginning stages of outreach to identify who is in some position to negotiate on behalf of the Iranian regime, yes. This is based on press accounts, not based on any classified briefing I've had. Wolf, it's important that President Trump begin to find an off-ramp, given the chaotic process he followed to get into this war, where there wasn't enough strategic planning and where he failed to assess the risks, that when he made it clear this was a war focused on regime change, that the Iranian regime and the IRGC would pull out all the stops, close the Strait of Hormuz, attack all of our allies in the Gulf, and we had no clear plan for how to stop those two things. Don't take my word for it. Former Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis, a decorated four-star Marine Corps general who served as Trump's first Secretary of Defense, made these same points this week, that there wasn't enough strategic planning. So I'm encouraged if President Trump is directing his folks to begin outreach to try and find an acceptable off-ramp.
As you know, Senator, several analysts have questioned whether President Trump's statement that the U.S. renewed discussions with Tehran may have been a move to help calm the markets and the volatile oil prices. What do you think?
Look, we've seen over and over that Trump cares more about the markets than he does about our strategic position or about the values that underlie our democracy. Look at some of the things he's done in recent days. He's pulled sanctions off 140 million barrels of Iranian oil that's already loaded on ships, making it through the Strait of Hormuz and going into the ocean. Why? That's going to produce billions in revenue for the Iranian regime. Something I'm even more concerned about is lifting sanctions on Russian oil, helping fund and fuel Putin's murderous war machine against Ukraine. Our Ukrainian allies and partners have volunteered to help us defend our troops, our facilities, and our regional allies in the Gulf against Iran's constant drone attacks. President Trump's picking the wrong team and the wrong side. And so far, his chaotic war in the Gulf has principally helped Iran and Russia, not the United States.
President Trump's negotiating team, as you know, Senator, his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and his special envoy, Steve Witkoff, did help broker that ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas, which you praised at the time. Do you have confidence that they will be able to reach a deal with Iran?
Look, having two New York developers negotiating with Russia, with Iran, with Hamas, let's just say is a novel approach to doing global diplomacy. There were reasons that Hamas ultimately was willing to come to a hostage and ceasefire deal, and that President Trump finally applied pressure to Netanyahu to accept that. This has some of the same contours. There are differences between our strategic goals and Israel's. We are facing a determined, dug-in, and capable adversary in Iran. So if these two negotiators have clear direction from the president to negotiate a resolution, I suspect they can get that done. Part of our problem from day one of this war, Wolf, has been that the military is pursuing more limited and narrow goals, and President Trump keeps throwing around all sorts of other reasons for this war, securing the hundreds of kilograms of fissile material, enriched material that we still don't know exactly where it is and how much there is. Regime change, preventing Iran from having influence throughout the region. Those are political goals. Our military has been sinking their Navy ships, striking their ballistic missile launchers, and reducing their defense industrial base. Those are military goals. If President Trump makes up his mind that he wants narrower goals, he can begin to negotiate. The problem here, Wolf, is that the enemy gets a vote, and the Iranian regime, whose sole goal is to survive, will keep launching drones at us, our partners, our allies, and the Strait of Hormuz, and there's not much we can do about that.
Excellent analysis as usual. Senator Chris Coons of Delaware. Thank you very, very much.